There are research findings that support the notion that society attributes and perceptions had a psychosocial impact on people with sickle cell disorder. Health beliefs could be influenced by external factors such as advice given by health workers, family support, and work responsibility. Psychological issues for people with sickle cell disease and their families mainly result from the impact of pain and symptoms on their daily lives and society attitude and those affected. There's considerable variability in the ability of people with sickle cell disorder to cope with their condition. People with the disorder experience different levels of health, and such variations can lead to differences in psychological functioning. Some people cope relatively well, attend school or work. This is our focus on this week's episode of Health Options, the program that not only tracks government policies on health, but helps you with the information you need to make informed choices about your health. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah. Our complimentary segment, Nature Scanner, brings us important tips on how sickle cell sufferers could cope with the harmattan so it doesn't take a toll on their health.
Curious about how government policies on healthcare are varying? Do you enjoy learning about wellness concepts and the many options available? Then watch Health Options on the NTA.
Mr. President has led by example. Take the COVID-19 vaccine.
So somebody can say, hey, I woke up this morning, I felt some tingling in my hand, some weakness, my face was, I couldn't speak well. That's a warning stroke, and it shouldn't be ignored.
The carrots contains carotene. Tomatoes is a colored plant. It has carotene. Pepper has carotene.
50% of our diet should be green vegetables and fruits.
Join leading experts on both orthodox and alternative medicine for all the enlightenment you need for a healthier you.
Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah. This is Health Options, and our focus is sickle cell disorder, and we shall dwell on the mental health and psychosocial factors peculiar to sufferers. My guest is a sickle cell warrior who have not only surmounted the odds but given back to sufferers, particularly the less privileged. His name is Shehu Alaitan Mohammed, founder Some Sickle Cell Foundation. Thanks for coming on Health Options. Malan Shehu.
Thank you very much, Haji Arabi.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, without wasting much time, if you don't mind just telling us how old you are. How old are you?
Now I'm 56 years old.
56?
Yes.
Wow, I had to start on this
note of the age.
Yeah, on this
I know
note,
because
yes.
of the peculiarity.
Exactly.
And sometimes
and myths.
Yes, exactly. That's what myths.
Yeah.
About the fact that sickle cell warriors, they don't go beyond 18, but they don't go beyond 21.
25 and all of that.
Which all these are myths really.
But thank God you're above 50 and
Yes.
even heading towards 60. Nice to know that.
God,
Nice to know. That's quite encouraging, I must say.
Yes.
So, share your story briefly.
Yep.
How has it been? I've had guests here. Some said they grew up outside the country. They grew up outside the country,
Yes.
where you had health facilities that met their needs and all of that.
Yes.
I don't know. Since you're so much interested in the affairs of the less privileged sufferers, let's start with how has your story been like? What is it like?
Well, for me, just like any other Nigerian child, in my family, we have 4 males that all of us are SS, that's sickle cell warriors. My mother had 4 of us, but as God will have it, only me survivor. One of us died in childhood, 3 of us survived to adulthood, but 2 of my brothers, one has 2 kids before he died. The other one was in his 3rd year in the university when he died. But thank God, I am here today. Growing up as a sickle cell patient in Kaduna then, just this normal up and down of crisis, hospital visits. I can say, if I have to count it, from when I was discovered to be a sickle cell warrior, at the age of 10 to maybe when I was 50, I must have been in the hospital more than 200 times on admission. That's the reality. If I was going to school, I school in the south, and there's this myths that sickle cell, they are abiku, they are ogbanje, all this type of stigmatization. We have it, and people look at you as if you are less human. But for me, I have something that works for me, and that is the family. I have the family support. In all fairness, my family were a great support to me. My parents, my uncle, and the wife that I stay with in Ibadan, they are very supportive for me. This has been the story. And by the time I get to the university, friends were there also to support. And I have access to health care. I must confess, I have access to health care.
Really good to know that.
Yes.
You know, this perspective that we're looking at is quite interesting. Mental health, psychological, psychosocial factors and all of that, which you are really, really interested in and you're pushing, which, is the reason you are here. People who don't even, who are not suffering from any form of disease, are, battling with mental health as we speak. And you are looking at that as it concerns sickle cell sufferers. Let us into it and just exactly what you have done or doing.
Yes.
Or what is your foundation?
Yes, the issue of mental health is one thing that sometimes we overlook for sickle cell warriors, because the emphasis is always on the physical pain that we are going through. But not the fact is that we still have many of us going through mental health issues, depression, and all what. Even some of our caregivers. Imagine a woman, the husband just abandoned her because she gave birth to sickle cell warrior. How will the woman feel? The child,
which was not fault of hers, because it takes two to tango. It's AS and AS coming together that produce.
But the man will just abandon the woman. The woman will go through raised stress and mental issue. Imagine a situation in which you have your child or children on admission, and you too, you just fall into depression at that period, and you have to be admitted. So you can just imagine how it will feel for the woman. So that's why we thought this issue of mental health should also be brought into the front burner, that look, we are not only suffering from the physical pain, the mental pain is there for us. And our foundation, one of the things, look, let us bring people that are experts in mental health management to talk to us about this. Many of us that are warriors, many times we fall into the situation of depression, and you feel that's why you even existing. And because of the pains you go through, because you don't have enough support, how do you get out of this? You need experts in the field of counseling to take us through. That's why we at Some Sickle Cell Foundation, we believe that we need to address this issue, and it's one of the things we are looking at. Incidentally, we're even having a dialogue on that, which will be having many experts to talk on this issue, mental health, and other issues that concerns us. Okay.
What are those critical areas that you think remain huge gaps that really need to be closed when it comes to, interventions for sufferers in this part of the world?
One, I would say equal access to whatever other people are having access to, like job. Imagine a situation you struggle to come out of the university with a good grade. You went for an interview, they ask you all the questions, you excel. Now you feel that because you don't want to hide any information about you. You mention that to them that look, this
An
is my
SS.
genotype.
I'm an
And
SS.
yes, you are SS, and because of that, they just shut you off. How will you feel? Many of us, yes, I'm in many forum of sickle cell forum, that this is the experience that people will tell you. I have a friend, of course, I have so many of them that this I've not even met her face to face, but she was telling me her whole story. She's a physiotherapist. You cannot imagine, someone that is a health worker. Now she wants to go for her internship. The hospital are refusing to take her because she's SS.
Wow, that's
If
ridiculous.
a hospital will refuse, and
The
the people,
hospital?
yes, because she's SS. If the people doing the refusal are health worker like her, the people that are supposed to show understanding.
Yes.
So what are we saying? What are we saying about the larger society? If an hospital will say no to a sickle cell patient, that is a qualified physiotherapist. So
those are the issues that revolve around mental health and all of that.
exactly. So
And
like someone like that, how will she feel? She feel dejected, rejected by the society.
Yes.
And if you are not careful, people like that are susceptible to drug abuse. If
Even suicidal
exactly.
decisions and
So
all like that.
these are the things that we feel ought to be addressed by the authorities. There should be equal opportunities for us. We are not saying that, look, because we are SS, give us special treatment, that for job we are not qualified or joint, but at least they give us the opportunity. In my book, which you have read, I always mention that's how I got opportunity where I worked. I worked for about 18 years with Media Trust, Daily Trust newspapers, and I got to level general manager at Daily Trust. And it's because they gave me the opportunity. I remember during the interview in Kaduna, when the paper was still in Kaduna, I told the panel of that two of them, that's the Malam Kabiru and the Alhaji Ajibola. Look, I told them, look, I'm SS. And because of that, they didn't say they are not going to take me. They took me. And I proved myself, rising to the position of a general manager. Of course, by then I already qualified as a chartered accountant, and they know the performance at the interview was there. And so this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They gave me that opportunity. If they too have looked at me, we can't take SS.
Maybe your story would have been different today.
Different.
Yeah.
So this is what anywhere I have the opportunity, I always look, give us that opportunity. Let us prove ourselves. Even when we get there and we didn't perform, let the system you have in your organization that weeds out
play their own role, in terms of support.
Yes,
because that's the inclusion we're talking about, leaving no one behind.
Exactly.
So I know that there are some factors because that trigger crisis. Yes. Just when you got here, the guest room was quite cold. And
yes.
I had to switch off the AC, and back here in the studio, it was extremely cold. We had to wait for it to warm up a bit, before you could come in. Yes. Can you share with us some other, triggers, there's some do's and don'ts that sickle cell sufferers should take into consideration? Because that's my next segment, but I want you to kickstart it, to set the tone for it.
Okay. You see, for us, the important thing is that know yourself.
Okay.
What is triggered to me may not be the same thing for you. But generally, we try to avoid extreme weather, too cold situation, too hot.
Okay.
We try to avoid it because this thing can trigger our crisis. Our lifestyle is very important. I can't say because, Rabi is my friend and sorry, she's the partying type. I have to join her all-night party. I can't do that because I know the stress may trigger me. I remember when I was in the university, my friends, Shehu, let's go to this show now. Just go, and at least for you to know that you have been there. Now look. If I go to a show for one night,
asking you to socialize.
Exactly. Then I'll not spend the next 1 week in the hospital. For us, we must know that some lifestyle are not just for us. Alcohol, smoking, all these things are not for us.
Wow, you're
Yes.
even an expert already. So
Yes.
maybe just save the rest for the expert that would like tell Nigerians more on what, especially now that we're in the Harmattan season.
Yes,
We
yes.
know that
Harmattan,
dryness could
no,
trigger
it's
a
something
whole
that
lot of,
the period that one of the period I always care of, really.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you so much, Shehu Olaitan Muhammad, for coming on Health Options. It's our pleasure having you, and I hope you keep up the good work by helping citizens, especially the less privileged among sickle cell sufferers in the country.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's get more tips on ways sickle cell sufferers could go through Harmattan rather than going under it.
Red blood cell is the main structural organelle in our body that carries, oxygen. The typical shape for red blood cell is what we call concave. It is concave in shape. With that kind of shape, it is kind of flat and has a large volume to carry a high capacity of oxygen. However, due to genetic malformation of the red blood cells, it takes the shape of a sickle. I think you know what a sickle is. Like the shape of a sickle, put in simple word, is like a question mark sign. That is sickle shape. So with this kind of shape, you see that the volume is the structure is abnormal. The volume has reduced in terms of oxygen carrying capacity. So when there is oxygen deficiency of oxygen, or what we call hypoxia. In other words, you can also say that sickle cell is a hypoxic disease. That is, say that the body lacks the ability to carry enough oxygen. That is why you have all the different signs and crises that comes with it. Genetically, you want to look at it this way. You have two forms of DNA, that is the deoxyribonucleic acid, formation. You have what we call the SS, that is the full-blown sickle cell. There had been a genetic malformation of the red blood cells, especially the part of the red blood cells that is known as hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the pigment that carries oxygen in the red blood cells. And if the shape isn't right, then it is not a